Today I can take a break and try and attend to all questions. And for everybody that sent me personal DM, I'm sorry. I'll get to them as soon as I can. So I don't want us to waste time today because I want everybody to get as much knowledge as we can before time goes. So is Mr. Lani on the call?
Yes, I am. Good evening.
All right, good evening, Mr. Lani. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you? Doing fine.
Fine, thank you. Fine, thank you. All right, so you can start now. You start now.
Okay. Yeah, so good evening once again, everyone. I hope our week has been amazing. It has not been as stressful as mine. Just a second, please. Okay. Sorry about that. So yeah, let's just get started. I wouldn't want us to take too much time on the call today because I want to leave room for some questions. And aside for that, as per what we discussed in the last class, I said we were going to work on um, a user persona and empathy map together on the call, which I believe is going to take some time. So, if you guys can hear me loud and clear, please just signify, maybe drop a thumbs up or something. Okay. Um, so let me just put it out there real quick. You guys might have to manage my voice today. You know, I've been having kata for some time now, so you guys should know this. So let me know if you can see my screen. Once you can see my screen, please kindly signify. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, I'm sharing the wrong screen. That's this one. Just this. Okay, can you guys see my screen now? Okay, great. So to make this class more interactive and easier for us, I um, actually worked on a demo. What I call it demo or like a rough uh, research information for us to work with. So please, we're going to be doing this together. Actually, can you guys still hear me? Text has been terrible since morning. So, like I said, we're going to be going through this particular um, research information together, and then we're going to be using this same information to create a user persona and an empathy map. So, just like I explained in the last class, a user persona can actually be created easily with just your qualitative analysis. Sorry, quantitative analysis. But to actually dive deeper into how your users actually feel their pain points, uh, interviews and observations are like um, the way to get more information so as to ensure that what you're actually building or creating a solution to is what they actually want, not what they think they want or what they assume they want. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So for this particular scenario, our goal is actually to build a meal planning application for professionals and families. Can you guys hear me? So basically, what we are building is an application that helps you sort out your meal planning. And I just generated this search information just to for the purpose of this class. So is someone raising up their hand or is it a message? Sorry, sorry. Okay, can I zoom out? Okay. Is it better now? No. Should I still make it bigger? Okay. How about now?
Yes, please.
Is it good now?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, great. Great.
Bigger, bigger, make it bigger.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah, it's good now. It's good now.
Okay, okay, awesome. So according to this particular uh information, some of the questions that can actually be found there are information about their age, the person's age, their occupation, if they have children or not, because just like I said, the application we are currently working on is actually for uh, professionals and parents. Professionals in the sense that people that are actually working career jobs, not uh, children, not people that are just growing up. So it's more or less like the application we are working with are actually people that are well above 24, 25 and higher. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So the first thing we most definitely need to get is their age range. So that's why in this data we have how old are you? Oh goodness. Can you guys still see my screen?
Yes, sir. We can see it.
Okay, so Elizabeth, you might have to leave the call and join back in. Okay, let me continue. So the first question on that particular form, that that imaginary form that I created is age, that is how old is the person, what occupation, that is what does the person do. And as you can see here, there are different occupations here. We have marketing manager, IT specialist, lawyer, healthcare worker, and some other things. We are trying to build an application for meal planning, a meal planning application. Let me. Did you get that, Damilola? We're trying to build a meal planning application. So most definitely for a meal planning application, for us to be able to get uh, information as to what we need to add to that kind of application, we need to first ask people that how do you currently do your meal planning? Do you even do meal planning at all or not? I mean, there are so many people that they basically just eat whatever comes. They don't do any meal planning at all. If I say I should take a poll on this call, I'm pretty sure lots of us don't even do meal planning. We just go by our gut and say, oh, I just feel like eating spaghetti today or stuff like that. So the question here says, how often do you plan meals in advance? Like, do you plan your meals? Do you not plan your meals? So in that imaginary form, we most definitely have um, often, rarely, sometimes. So all of these are just quantitative data. That is, we can just easily measure it. Does this person plan it? Does this person not plan their meals? Or they do it sometimes, or they don't even have to do it at all. So often means they actually do plan their meals in advance. Rarely means they don't really do it. Then sometimes means sometimes they'll plan it, sometimes they forget and stuff like that. And then the next question there is, what frustrates you most about meal planning? Like, their frustration. What frustrates them the most? You can see some of the information there. It says lack of time. Some say they are picky eaters. Some say food waste, stuff like that. So all of this information, we should try to note them down. And then the next question is, how often do you order takeout? Like, are you the kind of person that instead of planning your meals, you just order food? Are you the childlike kind of person, the global kind of person? So that's also part of the questions. And then the last question there is, what are your primary goals when it comes to meal planning? Then some of them say they want to save time, they want to eat healthier, reduce food waste, save money, and stuff like that. So all of these are information that we got from a form that was sent. And then after sending out those forms, we try to talk to some of those people. And while you're actually talking to them, you try to note some of the things that you did not get via the form you sent over initially. And these are some of the things they actually said. One person said, I'm too exhausted to cook after work. I end up ordering takeouts, but I feel guilty. Another person said, grocery shopping is the worst. I never know what to buy, so I just grab frozen meals. Another person said, I want to eat healthy, but meal prep time takes so much time. I need quick recipes. So from some of these quotes, some of these things that we jot down, we should already start having an idea of the kind of people we want to build this meal planning application for. So by this, we can tell that, oh, okay, this one is too exhausted to go after work. So a meal planning app doesn't necessarily solve their problem directly. So we need to find a way to actually solve it, even though they are exhausted. Are you getting me? So from this data, to make things a little bit, but of course, this is not the raw data though. This is something that has been reworked a little bit to ensure that it's easier for you guys to understand. So let's check out some of this information here and let's group out user groups. Let's make user groups. So for me, I feel like the easiest way to actually do user groups in this situation is we can't do it by occupation. Reason being that all of them or almost all of them have different occupations. Are you guys getting me? Are you guys still hear me? So almost all of them have different occupations. So grouping it by occupation will not really work. And let me ask you guys this question. Look at these age ranges. If you group it by age range, do you think it would work or not? You can just reply real quick on in the chat. Let's use the chat. So, group it by age range. Do you think it will work? How many what do you call it? How many user groups do you think we would have? Even though grouping it by age range is not the best option though, but do you guys think it would work? Look at the ages there. I'm waiting. I'm just going to give you guys like 1 minute to do that. Just reply in the chat. Is it better? Okay. So okay. Somebody said by age will not work. Okay, this won't work. Why guys like let me know why it will not work? Don't just write it will work, it won't work. Write it won't work because so and so. I'm just trying to do that real quick. Okay, the question is we're trying to group users by we're trying to group users. So should we group it by age or occupation? Will those two work? Okay, I can see age groups work because of difference in age. Just ask occupation. Okay, the age range doesn't cover all ages. Okay, same as occupation. This won't work because there are different age ranges. Okay. Um, we could group by age into 25 to 35, 35 to 45. Okay, that's great. But if you remember what I said at the beginning, I said the goal of our application is to build a new planning application for parents and busy professionals. Parents and busy professionals. So a parent can be someone that is 24 years old, and a busy professional can also be someone that is 25 years old. It doesn't really matter. Anybody can be a parent, and anybody can be a busy professional. So using age is not really a good idea because if you group it by age, then we would only have two. If you say by age range, just like this person said, 25 to 35, 35 to 45, we'll probably just be having like two um, groups. And at the end of the day, what they actually feel like might not even tally because the 25 to 35 people, at the end of the day, some of them might say they like making meal plans, some might say they don't. Some might even say, I don't even like cooking at all, I just want to order food. So I don't think that will also work. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So let's move on to the next question and see if that might work. How often do you plan meals in advance? Some say rarely, some say sometimes, some say often, some say rarely, some say sometimes. So can we group it by that? Do you guys think we can group it by that? How often do you plan meals in advance? This will work. Okay. Yeah, this might work. It might because some group of people actually do plan their meals, some do not. But okay, why are we grouping them? Are we grouping them because we want to do user persona? Okay, so we are grouping them because we actually want to find out the user groups we are building our application for. Because if we say we want to create a single persona for every single entry that we have, we have so many personas, so many feature requests, so many feature requirements, and at the end of the day, we will just be all over the place. Did you get me, Damilola? So the whole idea of us grouping them is to be able to see, okay, this is a group of people, and we need to serve these people. This is another group of people. We also need to serve these people, and this is also another group of people that we also need to serve. Do you get me, Damilola? Okay. Please, you people should stop calling me Sir Editorial Love. Thank you very much. So there's also another section that says, do you have children? Do you not have children? Some have children, some do not. So if you look at this very clearly, I don't know. To me, I feel like this would be like the best way to put them. Some have children, some don't have children. People that have children most definitely would like to plan their meals. Reason being that they have to calculate what their children would eat. Am I correct? They will have to factor in what the children will eat when they get back. Okay. Someone wants to say something. You can go ahead. I'm listening. Who's that? What's second, please. Yeah, your hand is raised. You want to say something? Oh, was it a mistake?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
you can
was
go ahead. What did you say?
that was a mistake.
Oh, okay, okay. Adedeji, you want to say something? Let me just take one question real quick.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So my best suggestion would be to create the app for those who have children, because those who don't have children will really plan their meals because everything they do might just be spontaneous. But those who have children
Okay,
would like an app that could at least assist them with their everyday activities.
okay, okay. That's a valid point. Does anyone else wants to go? Olawale, you want to say something?
I wasn't seeing your screen before, but I've been able to see it now.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that is the beauty of Nigerian telecoms. They will stress you. So, what Adedeji said is actually a good idea. We should factor in people that actually have children. Reason being that they would want to plan their meals. They mostly would like to plan their meals. But if we now build the application for people who have children alone, it would mean that we are restricting ourselves to only people who have children. So that means we also need to factor in the other side. One side is we have children, we would like to plan our meals. Another side is we don't have children, but we might also need to plan our meals if we want to. Are you getting what I'm saying? So it is better we just think of it this way. Let's plan for people who have children. Yes, those are like our target audience. But as a secondary opinion, let's also plan for people who don't have children. You never can tell who would use your application more. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Yes, you can go ahead. Someone raised their hand. Okay.
Oh,
Daniela, let me explain
yeah,
again.
sorry. Okay, all right.
Yeah, yeah, continue, continue. I'll
Yeah,
explain.
I want to like oppose Adedeji's opinion, but I think
Okay.
you already said that anyway. So yes, let us say for
Okay.
instance now you have like an education app, and you are treating it based on just those that are fast learners. How about slow learners too? So I feel like we can taste it or categorize it based on those that have children and those that don't have children. Yeah, so
Okay.
giving it being unbiased in that sense. Yeah.
Okay. 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 So Daniela, let me explain what we're trying to say here now. We're saying that we have a group of people who have children, and we have a group of people who do not have children. Sorry, just a second, please. I'll let you speak. So what we are trying to do is we're trying to group these people that give us their information. We can see clearly that there are some people who have children, some people don't have children at the moment. So we're trying to group them that way so that we know the features that people who have children would like to have, features that people who do not have children would also like to have. Do you get me, Damilola? Do you understand now? Okay, so you can go ahead. Samson, you can go ahead. Samson, see here. Samson. Oh, Samson is not here again.
Good evening.
Yeah,
Good
good
evening.
evening. You can go ahead.
Good evening. Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
good evening. Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. I was actually raising up my hand to um put out my suggestion that sometimes that so,
okay, that sometimes people who don't have children love to plan their meal too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we should put in consideration those who don't have children. It shouldn't be based on those who have children, because sometimes even when you don't have children, you love probably a table or plan meal, probably like for healthy living or something like that. Because sometimes too, you may find difficult to know what to eat. So when you have an app or you have a means at which you could get how your meal could be planned, you won't mind. So that's just my suggestion.
Okay, that's great. I actually do plan my meals and I do have children, so that is at the target audience. Now imagine if you created your app and you did not consider me. I'll be vexed. Yeah, Adedeji, you can go ahead and then we would continue. No more addition of questions.
Doing that, I actually agree with you saying that we should make people that don't have children secondary. But doing so, that means the features on the app will be different, because the people that have children will just want to get straight to the point. But then the people that don't have children might still want their app to be designed this way for it to look like this, right?
Okay, okay. So the features doesn't necessarily have to you say how are we going to satisfy everyone like this? Okay, so the features doesn't necessarily have to be totally different. That is the work of a UI UX designer. You have to find a balance in such a way that it's that as it. I don't think it can satisfy everyone. You have to find a balance in such a way that every single person would actually benefit from each other's features and to be fine. Okay, said no more, but let me allow say something before I will continue. This is the last person. Davidola, you can go ahead.
All right, good evening, Mr. Alani.
Yeah, good
I would
evening.
like to inquire who the user personas are for these products.
We are still
I'm not
trying
sure
to
you've
create the
mentioned
user
this.
personas. Sure, you get.
Okay,
So
okay,
what we are trying to do now is we are trying to create user groups. Then we use those user groups to create personas. Do you get?
okay, right.
Yeah.
All right.
So we actually need to think of the features in such a way that it will benefit both sides. So let me give you guys one small shocker real quick. The subtitles that we currently have, what do you call it? That we currently use to watch our movies and stuff. For example, me as a person, if I'm watching a movie and there's no subtitle, I don't really like it. I feel weird about it. Subtitles were actually initially created for people with hearing problems, and now everybody uses it. So just because that feature was created for those people who have children does not mean that it cannot be used by those who don't have children. So that is where you need to find a balance as a UI UX designer. You have to find a balance in such a way that the feature would be usable by both sides. You have children, you don't have children, the feature will be usable by you. Do you get what I'm saying?
So, Mr. Lani, just before you go on, I just want to quickly drop short info. Please, I just dropped an attendance form in call message. So please do well to sign it. Do well to fill it actually. It's a Google form. So please do fill it. It's very important, it's very compulsory. I told you earlier, attendance is important. So go to the in-call message. As you're listening to your class, sign it before the class is over. Thank you. You can continue. Sorry for disrupting your class.
Thank you, Victoria. So yeah, now that we've decided that okay, we want to have a user group of people who have children, people who do not have children. I can also suggest one more user group, which I don't think it's a necessity, but it's kind of like an addition. People who currently do not have children, but plan to have children in the nearest future. Because there are some people that does not even plan to have children at all. So that is just like another extra. But most definitely, by the time we come up with the features, it's going to cover everybody. So now we've been able to decide that we want to have two groups. Those who have children, those who do not have children. We still have some of all the other information to go through. So the next thing is we want to start creating our user persona. I already have a user persona template here. What I basically just did is I went to Figma community and I wrote user persona. So as easy as that. User persona. Peace. Sure you guys get. So this is a template of user persona. So as you can see, there is a picture of the supposed user. Said, why can't we factor marital status? Are you sure you want to factor in marital status? I mean, you could be married and not have children, and you can be single and have children. And you could be married, you could be divorced and have children, and divorced and not have children. There are so many these things, plenty things. Okay, Ramon, you can just go. Why do I keep you wait, just Ramon? Yeah, let's go. Let's hear you.
I want to ask the question. You mentioned that is it true right you might be single and have children. I don't understand that aspect, please.
Single people have children now, don't they?
Like how? Like how come? Sorry.
How come you can decide not to be? Thank you, single mothers, single fathers, baby mama. Abi, divorced parents. Let's even leave divorced parents. Single, but you have children. It's possible. How is this guy? Uh, so okay, let me add this real quick. David, as a UX designer, you need to remove bias and some other things, religion, unless what you are designing is totally based on religion. That is when you need to add that to it. Well, as a UX designer or a UI designer, you have to totally remove some factors like religion, race, and stuff like that, unless it is totally necessary to add those things to your factors. Say, for example, you're trying to create an application that only applies to Christians or an application that only applies to Muslims. That is when you now need to add those to it. But when it is a general application, like this meal planning application now, I know Muslims don't eat some things, but so far this application is not tagged as a Muslim application or a Christian application. You just need to remove that totally from it. Then later on, you can now add a feature whereby if you are a Muslim, the kind of meal plans you get, the meal plan recommendations will be slightly different from somebody that feels in Christian or does not feel or that does not feel in a religion. That is if you want that as a feature. Do you get that? But for now, it is free for all. Do
Okay, sir.
you understand?
Okay, thank you, sir. Yeah,
Okay,
I
good.
understand
So,
that.
okay. So now let's continue. Okay, what is the topic? I guess you changed this. We're talking about user personas. We're trying to create a user persona. So now we want to create two user personas for two different user groups. Yeah. So now I have to duplicate this to ensure that I still have the original, so I can use it for the second user group. Uh, Now remember, the user persona is basically like if you creating a fictional user, so that at every point in time when you're creating those features, you can be like, oh, wait, this particular user I have, will this person use this feature or will this person not want to use this feature? That is why we're creating the user persona. So we have an image there already. We can do as much as we want. We can do like a two per group. We can do one per group. depending on your grouping. So for example, we divided it into just two groups. So for this class, I'm just going to do one persona per group. You can decide to do two per group or three per group. Do you get? So now I'm going to give this persona a name. I need to give that person a name. I'm going to call this one Sarah. Kindly help zoom in more. Okay. I've not actually written anything there. It's still Laura Mason for now. But can you see it better now? Sorry, can you see it better now? Okay, good. Cool. So I just gave this particular persona a name, Sarah. And remember, we divided it into two groups: people who have children and people who do not have children. So let's go back to our sheet. Let's look at people who do not have children. I think I already separated it. So these ones do not have children, right? Am I correct? Yes. So first thing we need to do is set age. Let's pick age. For people who do not have children, we have range 26 to 37. 26 to 37. So we can decide to actually pick just one person's age there. I don't know which age should I pick. I'm going to pick the one at the middle. I'll pick 27. Sorry, guys. Age 27. Occupation. We need to give that person an occupation. Is the person a professional or yes? What's say something?
Sir, please,
What's that?
is this a template? I want to know, sir.
I can barely hear you. What did you say?
Is this a template? Is this user personal? Are we going to be using a template or are we going to be designing them from scratch?
Okay, you can decide to design it from scratch, but there are lots of templates about user persona. Let me just show you guys real quick. So if I just write user persona template, Figma, I'm going to get a ton of user persona templates. So I can just pick one of them that suits the kind of information I got and then fill it up. Do you get? It's not a must. You actually have to create your own from scratch. Do you understand? Okay. Nafisa, did you join late? Can somebody please help me reply Nafisa the chat? Thank you, so that we won't have to go back. Yes, the template is editable. It is editable. You can just get one template. So location. Let's assume that we are building for people in Lagos for now. So I'm just going to pick one random place in Lagos. Let me take Yaba. Occupation. What are the common occupations here? Marketing manager, IT specialist, lawyer, healthcare worker. That's for people who do not have children. So I'm going to pick finance analyst. So basically, some of these parts are actually not 100% important, but just to ensure that we are still following what we're trying to build, we said we are building the application for busy professionals and parents. The app is for lots of users, Jerome. It's for lots of users. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to create a user persona that groups a certain kind of users. And the kind of users we are currently trying to group are people who do not have children that have a busy schedule. Do you get, Jerome? Are you guys still with me? Okay, let's continue. Marital status. Um, she's still single, yeah? Sarah is still single. For serious. So about Sarah, I'm just going to give her some random whatever. What does Sarah do? What does Sarah do? Says Sarah is the finance analyst. So Sarah works with Pooja as finance analyst. So I'm going to try to keep it short so that it's easy. Then, what are Sarah's goals and needs? Let's go back to this place. Remember, the first five are the ones who do not have children. So let's look at it. Let's look at it. What frustrates you most about meal plan? Lack of time, grocery shopping stress, lack of time. So basically, most of them said lack of time. Just ones that do not have children, and some said grocery shopping stress. Let's keep looking. We're trying to find our goals and our needs. Let's keep looking. Oh, we do actually have that. What are the primary goals when it comes to meal planning? Save time, eat healthier. And if you can look at it very well, it's kind of like a consensus here. They want to save time, they want to eat healthier. So, is it safe for me to say that for that those group of people who do not have children, their main goal regarding meal planning is to save time and to eat healthier, even though they are quite busy? Am I correct to assume that, guys? This guys, this class is supposed to be interactive. We should not leave me alone. Okay, so let's fill that up real quick. Goals and needs. She wants to save time while planning meals. She wants to eat healthier. Now, if I want to eat healthier, would I be ordering food from Chicken Republic every day? Just a question, guys. Most definitely not. So let's also add it to our goals. I want to reduce ordering. Oh, sorry, I've been using sheet. Let me see this. She wants. I'm not saying you guys should not order food from Chicken Republic. Go, hey Joe. She wants to reduce ordering food. Right? Those are our goals and needs. What does she do on a day-to-day basis? Um, goes to work, passes through Lagos. You basically just need to duplicate the template you get on your Figma account. I'll show you how to do that real quick. Okay, passes through Lagos traffic. Note, this is not me. I am not Sarah. So if we say I'm going through Lagos traffic every day, then frustrations. Uh, she gets so tired. She can't make a proper meal. Let's go back here. Let's see what else. Okay, see, exhausted. Grocery shopping is the worst. I want to eat healthy, but meal prep takes time. I need quick recipes. Barely have time to sleep, let alone prepare meals. See, I try. It's even worse. Try to meal plan, but I always forget something at the store. So some of these things you would. She gets so tired she can't make a proper meal. She eats grocery shopping. Are you guys still following me? Am I the only one on this call? What else? What else? What else? Let me look at news and see if there already for meal times. I need quick recipes. Um, I never know what to buy. She never knows what to buy. The motivations. What do you think our motivations would be? Okay, I should check the sheets. Uh, can you guys still see my screen? Okay, what frustrates you? Yeah, lack of time. It's there. I mean, she gets so tired. She doesn't necessarily have to be like directly. Yes, Ramon, you want to say something?
Yeah, I feel like the motivation should be they should try and prepare something light. At least those that say they are always forgetting something to prepare or forgetting something at the store, you can start by preparing something light to take for the night. And
So you want us to be cooking Indomie? Ramon,
yeah, what do you
that's the
say?
lightest thing. Like you want us to be cooking Indomie?
No, it's not every time we cook indomie. It's not only indomie that is light now.
That's the lightest thing that came to my head. Though. I'm actually serious. That's the lightest thing
Okay,
that
let
came
me.
to my head. And it's not healthy either.
Okay,
Motivations.
okay. Apart from
Um, she does not have kids. She does not have kids. Let me add one motivation, maybe to bring the other ones. Motivation. If someone gets groceries, she loves. Okay. I've added one. You guys should give me one. Weight loss can be part of it's part of our plan. Good. Um, I want to lose weight. Okay. But yeah, you guys should give me one more. Oh yeah, oh, she should be accountable to somebody very close. Yes, but is there any motivation? Motivation is something that keeps you going. I want to feel better about myself. Okay. I've been using she wants to lose weight. Time saving. Okay. To keep fit. Yeah. She wants to lose weight. Time saving. Time saving. Let me add one more. Okay. Fear, fear of unknown food. Mm, Scared. Daily notification about how to prepare. Okay. I think that's a good idea. Let's add motivation, stay motivated, motivate, motivation. Mm, Reminders to go to the store on weekends. So this doesn't necessarily have to be like my own. This is just like the basic thing. Yes, food timetable. Thank you. Food timetable. Now, this particular top part is like a quote, more or less like a quote that she said maybe during the interview or something like that. I already have that here. So I'm so exhausted. Grocery shopping is the worst. Blah 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 blah. So what we are trying to do now is all of these things. Let's read it together and then come up with one or two quotes that covers all of this. Can somebody do that for us? Who will volunteer to do it for us? She will volunteer. Raise up your hand. Fola, you raised up your hand and you brought it down back. It's not hard now.
Sorry, sir. Which
It's
one should I
1, 2, 3, 4.
should I no.
So 1, 2,
Okay,
3,
from
4,
one to
5.
five,
We're
Abby?
trying to compress it to just two quotes. Sure you get. So
Oh,
do you want to give us one?
okay. Sorry, sir. I'll have to read it and understand.
Okay, no problem. Who else wants to give us another one? Just one. Just one. Now, this particular interview quote, the reason why it is there is because this is like something that was written down by the interviewer, like while she was talking and stuff like that. It's a observation. Sure you get from just that person. Okay, Victor, you want to help us? Victor, are you there? Victor does this. Yeah, I can hear you, Victor.
So for the quotes, you can use LD shopping.
Yes, LD shopping. Or should I go back to the page?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. LD shopping.
LD shopping, healthy living.
LD shopping. LD living. Okay, but what I actually want the quote to be is something that is personal to her, something that kind of like summarizes all of these things. You get? You get, Victor? Okay. Let me hear what Jude has to say. Jude, what's up? How you doing?
Fine. Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening,
Okay,
Jude.
so I would say I wish I could have the time to cook,
Okay.
but the stress of work doesn't permit me to.
Of work
Doesn't permit me to.
doesn't permit. Okay. Yes, Damila, you want to help us out?
All right. The first one is I'm too exhausted to cook after work. So
I'm too exhausted to cook after work.
so I just order
Okay.
takeouts, but I feel guilty about it.
Ah,
That's the first
Damila,
one.
are you trying to tell us the other takeout? Jewo. Okay, let's see what else go. I think that one is enough. So, yeah. Ayomiko.
Yeah, so I was going to say, life gets better when there's proper planning.
I can barely hear you. What did you say?
So I was going to say life gets better when there's proper planning.
Life gets better when there's proper planning. Okay, so let me just tell you guys this real quick. So there is no right or wrong answer for this things. There's no right or wrong answer for it. It's just kind of like what you feel like this person might say or feel like combined together. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the first persona. Okay, what are we writing? We are writing quotes that summarizes all of this. So the reason why those quotes are actually important is because in situations whereby you have to share with stakeholders and stuff like that, and they need to get like a quick overview of the user personas or better still, people you're trying to build that solution for. Once they read the code, they'll be like, oh, this person actually doesn't mind cooking. It's just because the person is tired at almost every point in time. Do you get? So that's actually why we're writing the code, Damilola. What are we using to write the code? It's based on the information we got from the interview, based on the observations. Do you guys understand? Yeah, Adedeji, you want to say something?
Yes, I would say based on the observation and what we're able to put down, she likes to eat healthy. She wants to lose weight. So I'll just summarize everything to her wanting to feel good about herself.
Okay. Okay. Great. Um, I said that was the last person. So yes, that's the last person. Let's go to the second one. Let's go to the second one. So these images, it is advisable you change it. Let me see if I can change it real quick. Photos by critic. Black man. Where's this? Okay, I got it. Yeah, it's insane. Why you like this now? Yes, so let's give our second persona a name. Now, these people, these ones have children. They have what? Hmm? Sorry, give me a second, guys.
Okay, can you guys still hear me? Alexa, connect tonight. Thank you. Okay. Can you guys still hear me, Sha? My earbuds went off. So let's give this persona a name. Which name should we give her? Oh, we're spending so much time on this, so we have to rush this real
Mrs.
quick.
Benson. She's married and now she has children.
Why
She's
do you call
married and
it?
she has children, right?
Yes,
Mrs. Benson. My
Mrs.
suggestion.
Benson.
Mrs. Damilola.
Why like this?
Why are all these people, right?
Miss Damlola sounds good. Miss Damlola sounds good.
Mrs. Damilola.
No, please. Mrs. Benson,
Miss,
exactly. Ayamiku.
Mrs. Damlola sound cool.
And let's just go with Mrs. Benson, I beg. So what's her age? She married early.
46.
Let's say she's still 20, 25. She married early. Abby? No, why is everybody 27 to be? Okay. Who is this? 50? Let's do 45 or 30. Let's do 40. Let's do 40. Mrs. Benson. Occupation.
Nurse.
Nurse. Nurse. Let's see. Do we have nurse there? Well, whoever said nurse is a winch. I will not say more than that. Because we actually have nurse here. So occupation, nurse. So this is what I'm going to do. Whoever says anything first is what I'll put. Marital status.
Married.
Of course, she's married. Location. Where does she stay?
Abuja.
Abuja.
Well, we're using Lagos. We're using Lagos.
Ikorodu.
No, let's use.
I'm going to go with Ikorodu. So she's a nurse.
User persona.
About she works at Ikorodu primary health. Am I correct? Center. Yeah. So goals and needs. Let's go back to this space. What are our goals? Goals. Yes. Look at them. Remember, the last five are the ones that have children. Save money, reduce food waste. Save money, reduce food waste. They shall want to save money. Eh? All these married people, sha.
It's not about extra sent. It's not about extra sent. I want to send you money, not the customer.
Please, who is that? Kindly mute your mic,
Can
please.
I send
Kindly
how
mute yourself,
much are you
please.
going to collect for? I
Okay.
Ramon,
want the payment, all that stuff to you. Shall I have it? You know, charges.
Yeah,
Ramon,
you
mute
guys,
your
you guys
mic.
should
Uncle
stop a
I'm
bit.
selling. Uncle I'm selling. Help us meet your mic, bro.
He's a married man.
Oh, that's true. Maybe I should have used Mr. Ramon. Anyways, let's continue. Our goals and needs. She wants to save money. Save money. She wants to reduce food waste. Yeah, good. Motivations. Um, the children must be well fed. Yeah, that motivates her to cook at least. Abby, what other motivations does she have?
Our kids are always first.
Our kids are always first. Is that a motivation or a frustration? Okay, let's add something to frustration. Our kids waste food.
I guess love junks. They love junk food.
Our husband likes junk. Okay. Our
For motivation, I
kids
think timetable also will motivate her.
picky eaters. Okay, motivations. He needs full-time table. So I'm not going to fill this part. The device usage, I'm not going to fill that part too. Time is fast spent. What about our husband loves fresh food? Check the husband that loves junk. The husband that loves junk is the one that wants to love fresh
Exactly.
food.
She's a married woman, so I
It's
don't
a
think junks will work.
frustration, not a motivation.
Trying to balance
The husband
work
already
and
loves
Make
junk.
all
normal
of la off mic
marriage.
now, Abba. Eh? Okay.
Anyways, let's continue. So basically, what we have been able to do is we've been able to map out our goals and our needs. Now let's do codes real quick. I'm just going to pick one of these ones real quick so we can save time. My kids are so picky, it's hard to find recipes they'll eat. She should come to me. Now I'll teach her how to cook anyways. I'm a nice person. I'm always rushed, but I can't afford takeouts with two kids. Okay, voila. So this way we've been able to actually build the user persona. Now, if we say we want to go ahead and start thinking about the features we want to give these people, I think it's a bit more straightforward now. Yes or no? So some of the features I feel like these people would need. Number one feature is they want to be reminded of when to go to the grocery shop, when to start cooking. Am I correct? That's like two features. Yes or no?
Yes.
So that means, and if you look at it very well, Sarah wants to cook, but she does not have the time. But if she gets a reminder, maybe like 30 minutes, 1 hour before she actually wants to cook, that way she would be motivated that I've already gotten a reminder. So let me start packing up at work so I can go to the grocery store earlier. Do you get? And the same thing works for Mrs. Benson because I mean she's a nurse, yes, that's fine. She always cooks, but children waste food, they are picky eaters and stuff like that. So if she has like enough time to think about the food they need to cook, that way when they come back, she already cooked something they actually would love to eat. So maybe she's not been able to find out what they like to eat because once she gets home, she just cooks the first thing that comes to her mind. I guys getting what I'm saying? So you guys, from these two personas, what features do you think would work for A and B? Just drop it in the chat real quick. Just for the with the personas. Okay, can I zoom it? Let me do that. Is it better?
No.
Okay. Okay. Let me zoom this one. Okay, I think I like what Aziz said, meal history. That way, she would be able to be like, oh, okay. The day they ate Indomie and egg in the night, they actually liked it. So maybe I should add more Indomie and egg to their routine. That's for those ones that are picky eaters. So I think that's a good idea, Aziz. Shopping time notification, yes, that works, Victor. Uche, food scheduler, that works. Tips, yes. Recipes is also very important. For example, Sarah said she never knows what to cook, but she wants to watch her weight. So if we give her recipes of what did you call it, good food that she can cook in record time without having to waste time. Yes, pop-up motivation also works. Something like, yay, it's time to cook that yummy meal, stuff like that. And one very weird feature, it's a nice to have, not a must have, having like a food, is it dietitian they call them? Somebody that would, a dietitian AI that can just say, okay, what have you guys been eating all this while? Can I suggest food for you? Blah, 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 stuff like that. Do you think that will work? So basically, all of these we've been able to do just because we were able to come up with a user persona. Now imagine if we did not have the user persona. What features are we talking about? Oh, sorry about that, Damilola. We are just trying to bring out features from this user persona. What features will work for Sarah and what features will work for Mrs. Benson? Do you get, Damilola? Features for the meal planning app. Damilola, have you been distracted? Okay, so some of those features would actually work. How were we able to come up with these features? Because we were able to come up with a user persona. So even without an empathy map, I believe the user persona will work for us fine, yes or no. If it's no, say just type in no. If it's yes, just type in yes. So it is at every point in time, it's not a must to actually create an empathy map, but user personas are very, very important, like really, really important. Reason being that you can easily say, okay, this type of user are the ones I am trying to build this solution for. Do you get? So that way you put yourself in check that, okay, I'm building this solution for this user group. I'm building this solution for this user group, like that, like that. Do you guys understand? Okay, cool, cool. So let's go on to the next one. Like I said, we need to also do empathy map. So I also got a template for empathy map. You don't necessarily need a template for empathy map, but this is how empathy map looks like, straight out of the box. And the reason why I did not use Figma for it, I'm using FigJam, is because of this. That's all. That's the only reason why I'm using FigJam instead of Figma. FigJam has sticky notes. Do you guys get? So we can decide to do our empathy map from our user personas if we wanted to, but let's go back to our drawing board. Remember, these are quotes that they actually said from what did you call it? From our session. So let's read some of these things and then let's add what the user says, thinks, does, or feels. Can we do that real quick? So the first person says, I'm too exhausted to cook after work. I end up ordering takeout, but I feel guilty. Let me copy this text so you see how easy an empathy map can be. Now look at this text, look at this conversation. What is this user saying? Are you guys there?
Yes, right. Yes, sir.
So what is this user saying in this situation? Remember, we have 4 quadrants. What the user says, what the user thinks, what the user does, what the user feels. Okay, let me help you guys out. What she says, I'm too exhausted to cook. That's what she's saying. I'm too exhausted to cook after work. So let me help you guys with this one. I'm too exhausted to cook. Or too tired to cook. Yes, that works. So what is the user thinking?
I
What do you feel like that user might be thinking for her to have said what she said?
Cooking is stressful.
I'm thinking of food.
Cooking is stressful. She might say, okay, cooking is stressful for me. Cooking. Okay, this works. Cooking is time consuming. So what we are trying to do is we're trying to put ourselves in the shoes of that user just by what they said in the interview. Now, what does the user do after all of these things?
She
What does
ends
she
up
do?
ordering the takeout.
Why are you all smiling when you said that? Eh? I have a feeling you order take out a lot. I have that feeling that you order take out a lot. Don't worry, we listen, we don't judge. I end up ordering takeout. And how does she feel when she orders the takeout? She feels guilty. So it is not at every point in time that it's not at every point in time that it would be so straightforward. That is why I'm not going to lie to you guys. To do an empathy map, the best way, like the easiest way to do it, is to ensure that you are the one that actually did that user interview. Are you getting what I'm saying? If you are the one that did the user interview, even if the person does not directly say these things, you should be able to deduce that, oh, okay, when this person was saying this thing, she felt sad. She felt somehow. Are you guys getting what I'm saying? So yeah, that's basically it for an empathy map. It's not so hard, it's not rocket science. So, like I said, the empathy map does not replace a user persona. It can never, ever, ever replace a user persona. You still need to do a user persona because imagine if someone did not join this class earlier and then I have deleted this and I'll show the person this page. What would the person think? Let's not lie to ourselves. You guys give me answers. What would you think? You just joined the call and you see this. What would you think? Confused. Okay. Who else? Which one is Confusion Pro Max?
Person might feel like this is too hard or too tough to understand.
Me, I would not even lie to you guys. Me, I would not even
Hello,
understand
sir.
this.
Sorry, I'm sorry that I mean, please retake this empathy map. I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear you at the time.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Let
please.
me just pick another what do you call it? Now remember, like I said, empathy map is basically maybe a map coordinator. What are these guys? So empathy map is basically you trying to put yourself in the shoes of the user via what they say during the interview, how they uh how they felt. Were they feeling happy about it? Were they feeling sad about it? Were they feeling sad about it? Were they feeling angry when they were saying it? So all of these things are stuff that you will just need to note down. Well, because of the one I generated, it has literally almost did the empathy map for me. Sometimes I can be lazy like that, but I'm not advising you guys to be lazy like that. Please, you have to learn the basics so that when somebody actually asks you that, okay, oh, yes, we can see a party map. How did you come about it? So that you'll be able to explain, so that it's not turn to stories that touch. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So yeah, um, who said I should take another one again? I think that was Samson. So Samson, this is the
Uh,
quote I got from that person when I interviewed the person. The person said, "Grocery shopping is the worst, Jerry." Oh, man, say me. I don't know what to buy, and at the end of the day, I just grab frozen meals. Palawale, are you sure you're not using MTN? Because MTN is terrible lately. I don't know. MTN, Airtel is worse. Call on Shano. You guys should stop it. What is that? So let's do this real quick. Look at this. Somebody should tell me what this person was feeling. Just by this statement, what do you think that person was feeling?
frustration.
Huh? She felt what?
Frustration.
Frustration.
Please, can you come in a little bit? I can't see the things. I can't see.
Okay, let me zoom in a little bit more. Is it better now?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me hide all of the other things. So she was feeling frustrated, remorseful, indecisive. Is this person indecisive? Yes, indecisive is correct because she said, I never know what to buy. Frustration is also correct. She's frustrated. Only it is the worst. So that is what you will now add there. Feels frustrated about grocery shopping. So by us actually doing this, I just came up with another feature in my head. And the feature is that while we are doing the meal planning for them, can we also suggest grocery stores close to them that can deliver to their house? Or what do you guys think?
That's a good idea too.
Or personal food shoppers. I don't know.
Yeah, so
Yeah, great.
basically that is
That's good.
how all of these features come about. Do you guys get what I'm saying? That's how they come about all of this feature while they are doing all of this thinking and ideation. It's not that one person will just sit down and see, okay, oh, these are the features. I feel like Mrs. Damilola do more of takeouts. Ha! I will not say anything. So, anyways,
And it was Damla that said that he's married though.
if people's value is too much, I will not say anything. So, as I was saying, what do you think this person does at the end of the day after she gets frustrated about the grocery shopping, whatever, whatever? Look
Grab
at the
frozen food.
not frozen food, because here in Nigeria, frozen food means you are buying turkey and chicken.
Okay, probably
Just
just
of
buy
grabbing
Kala
frozen
and cook.
meals.
Maybe gala and coke or something.
Yeah, she ends up. What about frozen pizza? Or those sachets, what do you call it? All those sachets, jollof rice in a sachet, uh, barbecue sauce in a sachet. That's what she ends up doing. Buys prepared, what should I call it? So, over the counter. That's really over the counter sachet meals. So frozen meals does not necessarily mean ice cream. Who are all these people that eat junk? So she ends up grabbing frozen meals. For example, assuming they are not in Nigeria now, you go and buy frozen pizza from maybe Walmart or something, and then throw it in the microwave. So basically, foods that you can easily microwave and just shop. I remember there was a time that Indomie was doing this nonsense. Yes, takeout meals. Thank you. They're doing this nonsense that you just put the noodles inside plates, pour hot water, and then you can eat it like that. It's God that will judge them for that thing. But anyways, that's just an example of all these frozen meals. Yes, microwavable junks. Ah, this guy said it. Okay, so what did she say during that ramyeon? Okay, all these Korean watching people. So what did she say? She says she hates grocery shopping. That's just it. She hates grocery grocery shopping. Yes. And then what does she think at that moment? I think this one will be like the adesso. Oh, you want to say something? Who's that?
So I
Justin.
wanted to say, can we consider a feature where she hates grocery shopping, basically because maybe she does not know what she wants to get at the store? Probably if
Mhm.
the app can create a list of the food she's going to go and make when she gets home. So she knows what she's buying for what she wants to go and cook. So whatever meal
Okay.
she's selecting on the app, there's a
Mhm.
recipe, a list of what she needs to get on the app.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. The app actually tells you, okay, you want to cook pounded yam, abi? Buy 1 tuber of yam. Buy palm oil, 10 gallons. Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually a good idea. That's actually very is actually a good idea. And instead of her actually going to buy, since she hates grocery shopping, the app will just tell her when you are going to pick it up from this person and give her money. Do you get that also works? Okay, let me take one more person real quick. Who's that? Emmanuel. Yes, Emmanuel. Is Emmanuel still here? Emmanuel. Oh, okay. Emmanuel's not ready. Okay, Damila said, are we using the user persona or grouping to create the empathy map? Because I'm thinking we can't use all the users code. Yes, we're actually using the user groups. We're using the user groups. What those users said, we're grouping it together. Like, let me use this as an example. So we're using this grouped together to form our empathy map. We're also using those ones grouped together to form these codes. Because most definitely, that was why initially when we started this call, I said that we're going to be grouping the users into user groups. That's why we created 2 user groups. One group, people that actually have children, and the second group, people that do not have children. In some situations, we might not group it that way. We could group it as people that are busy professionals, people that are stay-at-home parents, people that are freelancers, and stuff like that. So it depends on how you want to group it. Do you get me, Damilola? So we're not using all of the users. We can't use all of the users because if we have like 1,000, okay, let me go over it again. We can't use all of the users. Reason being that if we say we want to use each user to create a persona or an no problem, Damilola, we are all here to learn. So if we say we want to use all of the users to create a persona or empathy map, at the end of the day, we might spend 2 to 3 years while still in the planning stage of the project. So the best option is look for users that are similar, group them together, and give them like a group name. Look for another group of users that are similar and give them a group name. So for example, this bootcamp we're doing, I'm coming, please, Adedeji. This bootcamp we're currently doing, we have a group of you guys that wants to learn UI UX design. You're one group. We have another group that wants to learn WordPress design, another group. We have another group that wants to learn maybe front-end development, another group. You have things in common. So that is what forms a user group. We can't just create one persona per user, one persona per user, one persona per user. We will spend so much time on research. Do you get that, Milola? Did I answer your question? Okay, maybe you should mute so that I will try to understand. Can you talk where you are, Damilola? Okay, while we wait for Damilola, Adedeji, you wanted to say something?
Yes. Can we say the reason why she's indecisive is because she has less, but she wants to eat cubes. That is why she just decides to get frozen food so that because those frozen food will literally be everything in it, just for her to microwave it. Because if she has less, she will not want to buy like from the scratch. So she will be picky or want to buy. So towing the features to something cheaper, something more affordable.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea also. That's a good idea. It's a feature we can add to let her know that, okay, if you want to cook this particular meal and it's too expensive for you, here is an alternative meal that is a bit cheaper. For example, you want to cook jollof rice that has all of the ingredients and stuff like that. We can give her an alternative that is not as expensive as the main one, but still as nutritious. That's also a feature. You get? Yeah, Damilola.
Okay, all right, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can.
Yes, I'm trying to ask that. How do we generate the codes that we are using for the empathy map? I
How do
understand
we
the
get the
fact
what?
like the codes that we are using for the empathy map. I understand the
Okay.
fact that we wrote them and later out of the grouping we created user persona.
Okay.
And later during that creation of the user persona, we compress the codes of each group to create a particular code for the user persona. So I'm not trying to
Okay.
ask that which code are you using again to create the empathy map? Is this the one that you collect from the interview you did, or from the one that you compress in making the user persona? So I'm trying to know the particular one that I'll be using. Also, if there is a
Okay.
case that I did a survey out and I did not put a base of code there, what will I be using? Because I noticed that in this class, we're actually using the code. And there's one particular time that I sent a survey out, I did not include code. Because I'm thinking that what will I do in that kind of situation?
Okay. 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 That's a good question, actually. So these quotes that I actually put here is not part of the survey. Damlola, can you hear me? The quotes is not part of the survey at all. The quotes actually came from me talking to the users after they have filled that survey, one after the other. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So they already filled the survey. I got the survey, and then I now said, do you mind if I have a follow-up question with you? Do you mind if I have like a one-on-one talk with you? If the person is not far from me, I go over to their place, we talk one-on-one. That way I can read their facial expression, their emotions and stuff like that. But if I can't do that, I can just do it over Google Meet. Then whatever they say, the way they talk, the way they feel is how I come about these quotes. Do you get? It doesn't necessarily have to be what they say directly. Do you get that, Milola?
Yes, sir. But do you know that survey like send out to people, people can send it to order. So it's not possible for you to interview all of them. So if
And
we
that's
asking
what
too many questions, no.
that's what I'm saying. You are not interviewing all of them. You can just
Okay.
unpick some group of people. Like, this one now, I separated it into people that have children and people that do
Yes.
not have children. So
Yes,
I
sir.
can pick like 2 or 3 of those people that have children, and then I tell them, can I have a one-on-one conversation with you? Do you
Okay.
get me?
Yes,
So
sir.
it is now that from that one-on-one conversation, I can come up with these quotes.
Okay,
Do you
sir.
get?
Yes,
Do you
sir.
understand it now?
Yes, sir. But do you know that I'm sorry, I'm thinking that all these
Problem.
codes here now is not like then, and we cannot curate empathy map for all these codes. So I'm thinking that if I have this kind of thing, which one will I see? Which one will I not see?
Okay, so that is why initially when we were doing the user persona, we used some of these codes, like maybe 3 or 4. We squished them together, summarized them to get
Yes, sir.
these ones.
Yes,
Shall you
sir.
get?
Yes,
So
sir.
from these ones, we can now use it for the empathy map. I
Mm,
get it.
yes,
So
sir.
the reason why I picked this one directly is because I already have it differentiated so that you can easily see what they feel, what they say, what they do, and what they think
Mm,
directly. Do you get what I'm saying?
mm. Yes, sir. I understand now. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Damilola, second Damilola, you can go ahead.
Um, I want to ask, I feel like this survey is a combination of qualitative and quantitative
Yes, it
user
is.
research, right?
Yes,
So
it
in
is.
situations where you don't get to do a follow-up interview, where you don't have interview codes, what do you do?
Mhm.
How do you go about it?
Okay, so in that situation, let's say I don't have all of this. Let me remove it real quick. It, okay, just Kimala delete. You can see okay, delete. Let's assume that I do not have all of that. Are you getting me? So in that kind of situation, what you did is just a quantitative analysis, yeah? So with that quantitative analysis, depending on the kind of questions that you asked that person, are you getting me? Depending on the kind of questions you ask that person, you should still be able to fill up their goals and needs, their frustrations, and their motivations. Are you getting me, Damilola?
Yes, yes.
So that way, you should ensure that whichever survey or questionnaire you're sending out is going to capture almost every single thing you might need from those users. And
Okay.
also add some sections where you can have open-ended questions. That way they'll be able to express themselves. Like, for example, if you look at these ones, all of these ones are how often do you plan meals? Straightforward. What frustrates you about a meal plan? This is an open-ended question. That way the person can write, I don't like having meal plans, it's boring, is kiniko. That way you can get what that person actually feels like, what that person thinks about when they hear the word meal plan. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So open-ended questions actually give you a lot of insight as to close-ended questions like, do you have children? Yes or no? What's the occupation? I'm a teacher. This one. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Exactly. So the way you craft your questions determines the kind of information you get.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Jude, what if I just sent a survey question without interviewing them? Is interviewing a compulsory step? Okay, you said I already answered your question. Okay, cool, cool. Let's take one more question, and I think we should round up. We've spent so much time. Adedeji, are you there?
Yes, sir. Sorry for asking this question. I see that this user research thing is a lot of work, but it also solves so many problems. How do
Yes.
you, if you are working for a company or like an organization, and you are the product manager and the product designer, how do you
Okay.
go about the budgeting? Because it
How do you
seems
go
like a
about
lot
the
of work.
budget? Okay. So I've actually had experiences whereby I had to work as both the product manager and the product designer. So in situations like that, how I try to manage budgeting is that first and foremost, I try to ask my lead or my product owner that how much are we budgeting for research? If the person says, Ogbeni, wow, we don't have any budget for research, oh," in that kind of situation, what I would do is when I come up with my survey, I'll first share it with my friends because I know my friends will not charge me to help me fill up a survey. And then I'll now beg them, see, just let me post it on your WhatsApp status or post it on your LinkedIn or your X so I can get more reach. I get what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
And then after I now get all of those information, after I get those information, I will now ask those people, some of those people that I pick, can I have like a one-on-one call with you on Google Meet or WhatsApp or via normal call? Do you get what I'm saying? I would know that if I'm going to do normal call, it will be on my own expense. But if I'm going to do maybe Google Meet or stuff like that, it will be during work hours. Maybe I'm using the company's Wi-Fi or my data allowance. Do you get what I'm saying? But in a situation whereby I have some money as my budget, what I can do is I will ask those people. I currently stay in Lagos on the mainland. Do you also stay on the mainland? Can I come over to ask you some questions, or can we meet up at some place so I can ask you some questions or stuff like that? That's if I have a budget that allows me to do that. But if I don't, everything will be done online. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand you. But with interviewing and also, even if you have money or you don't have money, will people really
Mhm.
show up? Because most people will not even mind the questionnaires or surveys. They'll just overlook it or they'll just tell you that they're not available with it. So how do you go about that?
Well, it's quite easy. If they say they are not available, none, you cannot force them. Do you get what I'm saying? You cannot force them. But there are situations whereby in some cases when we want to do some research, maybe we want to do like a usability test or stuff like that. If we're doing a usability test, sometimes we actually pay people to come and test the application if we have a budget. But if we do not have a budget, maybe what I'm just walking through I go to the grocery store and I approach somebody, hey, how you doing? Hope you're good, blah 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 blah, blah stuff like that. Please can you help me test this app real quick if you have some time? Do you get?
Yes, I understand.
So if the person say no, you cannot force them. But if the person is willing, sure. I mean, if you ask, let's say 10 people, if one of them, or let me even say, if you ask 20 to 30 people and one of them actually gives you a feedback, I think it's a win. Do you get? So that's basically how it works.
Thank you
As
very
a,
much.
as a, as a UX designer, you have to be very patient. You have to be very, very patient. You can't force people to do things. Even some questionnaires, many a times I've sent out some questionnaires and people will just be like, "Whoa, I don't have time." And even the ones that will fill it, at the end of the day, you just see some people just write nil, 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 nil. You cannot call those people and say, why will you write nil? Do you get what I'm saying? It's not
Yes,
possible.
sir.
You just have to be patient as the UI UX designer. Do you
Thank you
understand?
very much. Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, is there any other question before we wrap up this? Any questions? Any questions for me at all? Any questions? How many empathy maps are we creating? Okay, so one singular empathy map can actually accommodate a lot of users. So that's why if you look at this empathy map, I can just keep sticking more notes on it. Do you get? Do you get me, Damilola? How many notes? as many as it can take. Actually, if you feel like 5 is enough on each quadrant, by all means do that. Do you get? Okay, cool. So in your previous, can we use slide or Google Sheets for empathy map? See, in fact, you can even use the best way to do empathy map. Let me not lie to you. The best way to do empathy map, if you work in a physical office, he said it would be more fun to have you teach in a physical class. You want to stress me. Anyways, the best way to actually use an empathy map is, if you work in a physical office, you have like a ton of designers working on one particular solution or one particular product. Just draw a line on the board in the office. Whenever somebody does an interview, they pick a sticky note. What the user says, thinks, feels, they'll just keep sticking it there. So that way, any designer that comes in or that is new to the project, or somebody that was not there when the other person was doing that particular research or interview, they can easily see some of those sticky notes, if not all of them. That's if they are not removed. And then they can start suggesting some solutions and stuff like that. Do you guys get? That is the best way to do it. But if you want to do it online, you can use whatever. It's just to draw 2 lines that cross each other, right? Says, things, does, feels, then put sticky notes on it. Like I said, the reason why I used FigJam is because FigJam allows me to have sticky notes. If I use Figma, I'll have to be drawing rectangle up and down. And sometimes I can be quite lazy. So that's why I'm using FigJam. You can also use Miro if you want. You can use FigJam, you can use Miro, you can use Google Slide, you can use anything. Sure you get. You can use literally anything. So you'll put us through on how we can edit. Oh, sorry, my bad. Let me do that real quick. So I'm just going to pick a random one. This is a user persona template. Can you guys still see my screen? Okay, cool. So once it opens up, I just went to Google and I wrote user persona templates Figma. And then all I need to do is click on open in Figma. I have lots of projects here. I'm just going to pick randoms. And once it's done loading, we are good. Empty. It's good that we judge you people. So it's that easy. Now it's open. This is the template. You can decide to pick it, copy it into a new file and use it. That's all. It's that easy. Just duplicate the file. Yes, what's that? You guys don't want us to leave here today.
Sorry,
Yes.
very quick one.
Okay.
Did you open this from Google or from Figma? Did you open it for Google app or directly on Figma app?
You can use either way. If you want to open it directly from Figma, all you need to do is go to your Figma community and search for user persona. Do you get?
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, that's basically it. Now, my colleague said he gave you guys an assignment. So we're going to keep building on that particular assignment. The solutions that you guys have to create, I want you guys to create both empathy maps and user personas for those solutions. That is after you have done your quantitative or qualitative analysis. Also, I keep calling it analysis, research. Do you guys get me? So do your quantitative or qualitative research. If you feel like only quantitative works for you, by all means. If you feel like quantitative and qualitative works, do that also. Yes, Damilola?
Mr. Olani, please, I suggest that you send a comprehensive copy of the assignment to us via Anike or on our Google Slack channel.
Okay. Okay, man. Victoria, are you there? Can you still hear us?
Loud and clear.
Okay, great. So I'll send it to you so you can maybe send it to the channel for them.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, please just give me a reminder so I don't forget.
All right, no problem. I will.
Yes, thank you. Wait, create a login page was the assignment. Eh?
No, that was
No, that was the
uh,
second assignment. The first assignment was the one with the design thinking. Second one was the login page.
Uh-huh. You don't cast. So yeah, I'll have Miss Victoria send it over to you guys. So yeah, any other questions before we wrap up? Let me just take one or two more questions and then we call it a day. Any questions? We have just like 1 or 2 minutes for that. Any questions at all? It doesn't necessarily have to be about research. Just any questions. Just unmute your mic, and ask your question. Raise up your hand, unmute your mic, ask your question. Some of us haven't joined during first class. Oh, you can get the recordings and then keep yourself up to speed. Yes, Damilola.
okay. It's not a question. This is just me thanking you on behalf of every of my teammates for such an insightful session during the two classes. And please do take care of yourself and rest. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I would take care of myself. I just need to rest. I'll be fine. Yes, Latif, you want to ask a question?
Sorry for taking us aback. So yeah, the first assignment was to create a solution to a problem. So I was supposed to make a research. Yeah, then
Yes, you're
oh,
supposed to make research of that solution. After
okay.
making some research about that solution, maybe use questionnaires, surveys. If you can interview your friends, by all means do that. Then after gathering that information and analyzing it, then the next thing you need to do is create a user persona and an empathy map for it. Do you understand?
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, so I guess that will be all. So yes, it's actually been nice to take you guys. Uh, yes, it's been quite nice, I must say. And thank you for not being boring people. Okay, Timilan, what don't you understand? You can meet your mic and